Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Hello. Welcome. Good afternoon. And welcome to another edition of Lunch with the Shark. It's actually Tuesday, August 11th. It's time's flying so fast. I do sincerely apologize for my pasted hair. As you know, California is still on a lockdown because of the chingadera that it's going around. And unfortunately, I haven't had an opportunity to get a haircut. And it's actually a funny story. On Sunday, my brother came over and my nephew was here with us. And since in Mexico things are open to a degree with care and things like that, so we asked him, "Hey, do you know who is the person that we can go and get our haircut done? Like, we desperately need a haircut, right?" So funny thing is that he pulled out his wallet. Mind you, he's 12 years old. He pulled out his wallet and he says, "I have the right person for you. This is the guy that cuts my hair." I'm like, "What?" Like, a 12-year-old with a wallet, he has a business card of his barber. I'm like, interesting. We could have killed him and he would not release that business card from his hand. He did not let us touch it. He said, "I'll do the appointment for you. I'll do the appointment for you, uncle. He's the best thing ever. Yada, yada, yada." It was so funny. Up to this day, he hasn't done the appointment, obviously. And so we still need to see who the hell is going to cut our hair. So, how are you guys doing? How's everything doing? How you guys are coping and handling still? There's a lot of people that are already fed up. I was listening to the news this morning, and there's actually new ways to cope with the anxiety that being enclosed, that's the word, being enclosed in our homes, in our home offices, it's making us feel. Uh, a lot of people want to go back to the old way, because I'm going to call it the old way, not the previous normal. And to a point, it's impossible. Uh, it's very interesting because we know California, it's very restrictive. Whomever doesn't like it, it is the truth. California is a very restrictive state, a very expensive state. And with the news yesterday that the courts have sided with AB5, with Uber, Lyft, and those companies, now the drivers are going to have to be categorized as employees with benefits. That's going to be a humongous impact to those companies. Mind you, my belief is that they're going to file bankruptcy. They are going to pack up their bags and leave the state. I bet you that we are not going to have Uber or Lyft in the state of California anymore. Or if we have it, it's going to be extremely expensive, because you need to consider that payroll taxes are going to have to be added into the service that they're providing. Yes, other industries do it and they can afford it. This industry might. We're gonna have to figure out how it pans out. Nevertheless, it's a victory for the state. Unfortunately, it's a loss for the entrepreneurs. It's a loss for the gig workers that we spoke yesterday about. It's a loss on the entrepreneurship arena, because that's going to make us more mindset employee oriented. which is, I don't know if it's okay or not, but my belief is that it's not. Um, if you want to have multiple gigs and not depend on one sole salary, or you want to do it like, it's very expensive to do business in California as it is. And now on top of that, limiting the companies to hire independent contractors because they want to protect the employees and things like that. It's Jesus Christ. Well, but whatever. Uh, it is what it is. It's interesting. It's unfortunately, but let's see how things pan out in the courts. This was a victory for California and a tremendous loss for those industries. Now, other people that are in the same boat, not because they are Uber or Lyft drivers, but because they're independent contractors. There's a very interesting reason why you are independent contractors, and yes, we were talking about that your check, your earnings are higher, are better because your cash flow, it's more. You are not um, upfronting the necessary payroll taxes or self-employment taxes. As an independent contractor, you are paying that percentage that it should have been withheld from you during the year on self-employment taxes called FICA, which is comprised of Social Security and Medicare here in the United States. That's 7.65% of your net income. Sorry, gross income. So based on that, you calculate it and you pay that at the end of the year. You have to pay it. Whomever has done their tax returns, oh, not last year I didn't have to pay taxes. Well, this year I had. Why? Self-employment tax. Okay. Companies pay 50%. Employees pay 50%. The total net is 15.3% combined, but it's shared 50-50. That's part of the employer's payroll taxes. So let's see what happens. And this comes very, very in tune to what we spoke yesterday and what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We are in the entrepreneurship week, aren't we? And in order for our businesses to grow, and not only our businesses, but in order for us as human beings, as individuals to grow, we have to truly know who we are. We have to truly at least try to understand ourselves. And if you don't understand yourself, if you don't understand your business, if you don't understand who you are, how do you expect to understand your client? How do you expect to understand who your customers are? How do you expect to understand the products or services that you're providing those clients to mitigate a painful situation that they're currently going through or that they don't know that they're going to go through? Okay? Customers hate, listen, customers hate to be sold. Customers hate to be sold. So when I first started one of my businesses, okay, I had a team of 3 people. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to guess who those 3 people in my team were. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guess that it was me, myself, and I, give yourself a pat in the back. Yes, that was my team. Me, myself, and I. And I bet it was the same thing with you. I bet it's the same thing that it's going with you. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't. Yesterday, I actually quoted or posted a quote in my personal Facebook. That's my personal belief. That's not associated with the company. Don't pretend to be smart. Don't pretend to know everything. It shows through. People can see through it. Don't pretend to be a smart ass. People see through it. It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable and let others know that you don't know. As a matter of fact, you're going to grow. If you pretend you know what you're not asking, it's a problem, right? So accept that your company, your team, it's you, yourself, and you, me, myself, and I. That's okay. What it's not okay, it's that you continue through the months or through the years with your team of me, myself, and I, and you expect to grow. And you expect your clients not to notice. Do you think your clients are dumb? If you think your clients are dumb, you're disrespecting them, and not in the way of like you don't appreciate them. You're disrespecting their mind. People see through shit and lies. Most business owners have the same team when they start their business, but most business owners keep my me, myself, and I team forever and ever. Gig. That's a gig. That's a freelance. That's a freelance. You have to handle everything: sales, marketing, finances, servicing the client. I think I told you about this client that I was having a discussion and we were talking about increasing their revenue, increasing their sales. We actually supported them on obtaining one of the emergency loans. And I said, you know what? The only reason that I'm recommending this, it's you need to invest it. You need to apply it in generating and creating a sales model, a sales team, social media presence, and a simple and clear website. At the same time, we need to develop a marketing strategy. Okay? In order for you to take advantage of the loan, that loan, it's very low interest, it's a long period, and in no time, we're going to repay it and take advantage of the 12 months grace period. So, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize those funds, or at least half of them, to implement them on a sales strategy that it's going to generate you revenue, but that in tune, it's going to generate you profits that we are going to be able to repay it. Fast forward to today, a couple of months ago. Website is on it's being done, and that same person wanted it to build their own website. I immediately said, "Do you know what? You don't know anything about websites." "Oh, but I'll learn." Really? Your company is in the verge of bankruptcy. Your company has not paid your salary for the last 2 years because there's no cash flow. And instead of selling and instead of focusing on the bigger picture, you want to focus on this minuscule task that you are not capable of. And you're asking me and you're telling me that you're going to learn to build your freaking webpage. How long is it going to take you to learn to program a website? Or are you going to go to GoDaddy or a system to generate the website? Don't you think that $1,000, $1,500 are better well spent on somebody that is truly, genuinely an expert on websites? A couple of days ago, I got an email and I sent an email, hey, what's up with the social media? We move on because we have to wait at least 3-4 months to things to start out. Oh, I have my niece posting on social media, I immediately exploded and I said, what the fuck? What expertise does she have, or what gives you the idea that a 10-year-old knows your business? You don't even know your business. You have a team that it's me, myself, and I, that it's not trying to grow. So either you have a huge trust, and mind you, a trust full of money that you're just willing to tap in, or I have no idea what's your plan. I have no idea what's your plan. With having to be doing everything, we have things certain failure. If you're going to do everything in sales, marketing, finances, servicing the client, getting new clients, HR, and all that, you're setting yourself for failure. You're setting yourself for lack of growth. You're setting yourself to continue being a solopreneur, a gig provider, a freelancer. Find a job and freelance in your free time. That's going to generate you extra revenue, plain and simple. You are going to be overworked and you're going to feel underpaid. And it's not just a feeling, you are going to be underpaid. Period. When you start bringing additional people to help you manage the day-to-day tasks, that's when you truly start becoming a business owner. Listen, a business owner, I didn't say an entrepreneur. Because to this point, you have been hands-on. Me, myself, and I. That's not an entrepreneur. Okay? So at this point, when you bring new people and you let them do what they're supposed to be doing based on what you hire them for, that's when you're starting to become the business owner. Remember, or go and see my series on the business cycles from newborn to death. First, before I explain how to take your business from one-man show, and they said to say one-man shop, and I'm saying one-man show, to a true business, I want to explain the difference between a solopreneur and an entrepreneur. Okay? So here are the main differences. Entrepreneurs often hire and manage a team. Hire and manage a team. Many entrepreneurs start off running their business solo and eventually end up hiring a team to carry out their business tasks. It's very common. It's very normal. It's actually something that it's right at the beginning. But it shouldn't take you months to hire your first manager or your first team member. Most entrepreneurs start their enterprise with a partner. Partnerships are extremely difficult. Partnerships are worse than marriages. And I'm not saying that marriage is bad. Okay? Your partner in the business becomes a vital part of your life. Communication, communication, communication. It's one of the most important things that must happen and occur in your business partnership. Okay? Never assume that whatever you're thinking, your partner is thinking. The biggest problems that occur in life are due to communication or lack of communication. Okay? Communication, it's key. Communicate with your team. Communicate with your management. Never assume that they know exactly what you're thinking. Last I heard, they were not psychics. Funny story. There's a shopping center close by, and there's a psychic in the plaza, in the shopping center. Unfortunately, she requires or he requires for you to make an appointment. If she is a psychic, don't you assume or think that she should know or he should know that you want an appointment with them or that you're standing in the front of their door so they can help you? If they were psychic, they would know, don't you think? So just by them asking you to make an appointment, I don't think they're really good psychics though. That's my belief. So, entrepreneurs often outsource the fulfillment of products and services to their employees so they can focus on managing the business itself. The business is not going to manage on their own. Okay? Things are not going to happen on their own. So, what you're doing with your team is you're actually outsourcing either through independent contractors like yourself, gig workers, freelancers like yourself, until you change your mind, to help you navigate and deliver all the tedious tasks on the day-to-day operation so you can focus and manage the growth. You see how we're going from little to the big picture? Little to the big picture. If you only want to open a business to employ yourself, do it. Just do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Where I have a problem is that you call yourself an entrepreneur. Define yourself properly so you can be successful. It's all matter of definitions, and it's not matter of hanging tags or name tags to you. No, it's not that. When you fully, truly understand the meaning of a business owner or a business operator, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a gig worker, that's when you're going to start to realize how to do things, how to move forward. What is it that you need to become that amazing, extraordinary solopreneur, gig worker, freelancer, business owner, business operator, entrepreneur? It's step by step. Okay? Entrepreneurs always think about what's next. Entrepreneurs always think about what's next. Usually have multiple ideas flowing through their head. There's a business in my head growing every single freaking day. If I were to open every single freaking business that it's in my head, I would actually be homeless, bankrupt, and maybe, I don't know, in millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. Because entrepreneurs are artists. They create, they develop, they have a focus, they have idea in head, but sometimes they're not very good implementing. You need a team to implement each of your ideas. You have to be an amazing communicator, because you need to actually transmit that message, that idea, that focus to your team so they can carry it on. They are constantly on the lookout for next big project or idea that comes their way. Entrepreneurs, they tend to wait for an exit strategy or buyout and then move on to the other venture. They don't create a business to be there forever and ever, working on the business, in the business. They don't. They have an exit strategy, and mind you, exit strategy does not mean selling the business. Exit strategy means when is and how is the right time for me, entrepreneur, to move on to my next venture, to move on to the next project, as this current project, it's going on its own with the team that I have entrusted to build it, to grow it, to move it forward. for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I go back to your planning for the next year. Really? Don't come with me with bullshit and say, oh, we're sitting down for my next year planning. Kudos. Good for you. Plan for the next 10 years. And then we'll talk. You have an exit strategy. Oh, but it's because I might want to sell it in 5 years. Well, at least plan for 5 years and actually make it a goal to have an exit strategy in 5 years. Oh, it's my gut feeling that I'm going to be growing. Oh, your gut feeling, you probably need to go to a bathroom because your gut feeling might not be that you're going to grow. Trust me. Entrepreneurs enjoy the chase. What does that mean? Building a business is what entrepreneurs are about. Building businesses. They enjoy figuring out what the problem are in business. But overall, it's not the problem that we enjoy figuring it in the business. What I most love about my job, and I call it a job, but my position with all our clients is that they come to us with their problems. And what I love is how to fix them and get the business to a point where it's running by itself. Systems, procedures. Last day, a couple days ago, people can truly see through everything. And again, it's not that we're psychics, it's experience. So I know this person, and she sends me an email and she's like, oh, well, but I want this, and this, and this, and that, so I can just have them, everybody sign them, and that's it. And I said, I completely understand what you want. You want a system, a procedure in place that is set it and forget it. Unfortunately, when it comes to this matter, it's on a case-by-case basis. You're interacting with humans on one-on-one. It's like a doctor asking all their patients to fall under this category where they have the same symptoms and here this medication. Doctors interact with humans. Humans have different symptoms. You cannot have a set it and forget it system in place for treating humans. You must see them, you must assess, and it's on a case-by-case basis. It's okay if you want to systematize and have hundreds of thousands of procedures in your business. Okay? So there's no problem. Or you're trying to build this amazing business plan where you're going to tackle every single possible scenario of problems and give the solutions in your business plan. You're never going to launch because you're trying to make the perfect business plan that it doesn't exist. Okay? So entrepreneurs, they love to see at the problem, but what they most love, it's fixing and finding the solution to those problems. Okay? Once they get a business to the point that they are done and really want to move on the next project, it's not that, well, I'm done with this business, fuck it, I don't care about the business, I'm out. That's not it. When they get to a business when it says, my team is ready, the product or service is ready, the market is ready, I have distorted so much that this business is booming, off to the next project. And it's off to the next project, and not that I'm not going to turn around and never see that business again. Hells no. It means that it's not going to absorb the majority of my time or a fraction of my time in a big percentage from this point on. It doesn't mean that. It means that I'm going to set it and forget it, but I'm going to visit it on a regular basis. And mind you, this would be probably on a monthly basis, so they can provide me with financial information financial data, issues, the way they resolve them, or if they have a problem that my executive team cannot fix, they'll call me so I can provide them with the solution. I sort of become the mentor. I sort of become the external CEO to the company. Nevertheless, I have internal CEOs. So the question here is now lies on, are you currently a one-man shop that can't figure out how to move to the next phase of your business? And that it's not if are you currently, do you want to continue being the one-man shop, or do you want to phase out of that one-man shop to get to the next phase of your business? That should be the question. Do you want it, or do you truly desire it? Here are three ways to get past this point. First of all, have a conversation with a knowledgeable advisor. I would say have a conversation heart to heart with your mentor. If you're a one-man shop, most likely than not, you don't have a mentor. Okay? Most likely than not, you do not belong to any chamber or association related to your business, because you don't have no time to go and network. So it's pointless. Get the conversation started with a knowledgeable advisor. I would probably recommend you a accelerating company, an accelerator, not an incubator, because your business might be, it's already up and running. Maybe participate at a accelerator program. Participate at a mastermind at your level, at your level of expertise and at your level of revenue. Okay, not profit, revenue. Being around like-minded individuals and people that are a little bit above you, it's going to help you position you to the next level. Okay, you always need to be aiming to people that are above you. That are above you. Look for people that you want to become and be there. Surround yourself with them. Okay? Even if they are all the way up, the gap, it's tremendous. Okay? But you need to go on steps, little by little. We've said it. If you want to open or you want to develop a clothing line, don't go up and running to China, buy a factory, and bring 100 containers of clothing, and you haven't even launched your brand. Don't do it that way. You're gonna have shitload of skin in the game, because you're probably gonna have to get tremendous amount of loans. You're gonna sell your soul to the devil, and what? You don't even know if the market wants your product. So consider a knowledgeable advisors. Don't seek opinions, because if you seek opinions, you're going to take the one that best suits your needs, not your business. Before you go on and hire a team, you need to figure out if you can afford it. Yes, you can afford it. If you stop doing all the shit that you've been doing over and over and over, delivering the service to the client or the product to the client, building the product or the service yourself, marketing, sales, financing, blah, 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 blah. If we take all that off your plate and you just focus on growing your business by selling your business, your product, your service, you are going to afford your team. You're going to be like, shit, why didn't I do this before? Do you understand what I'm saying? If it is the right time to and how to protect your business from possible legal issues. From the get-go, protect yourself. Oh no, somebody told me that from as soon as I start invoicing $250,000 a year or more. Fuck that. As soon as you're going to start a business, protect yourself with a legal entity. Corporation, LLC, partnership, whatever it is, protect yourself. It's a foundation to a right business. It's a foundation to an amazing and a great tax planning. Don't do it on your own because you are not expert on that. Have a conversation with your accountant, attorney, okay? And they're going to help you reduce the amount of roadblock when it comes to opening your business. They are full of resources. We are full of resources. You are not alone. The only problem is that you want to do it alone because your mindset is that shit, I cannot afford it. Shit, it's my business. Me, myself, and I must do it. It's commendable. It's the stupidest way to do it. You can reduce your learning curve and your expansion curve by years, by hundreds and thousands of unearned revenue that in turn will convert into hundreds of thousands of dollars of lost, not earned profits. Determine needs versus wants in a team management. Shit. You need to understand what a need is and what a want is. Okay? I wanted it the latest Galaxy cell phone, but I just needed it a freaking phone. Okay? That's the difference. Determine needs versus wants in your team member. This is a good exercise to help you figure out what you are doing that you should not be doing. Do a list. We spoke about it. We spoke about time management, blocks, lists. Write everything you do every freaking day, at every single moment of the day, from the time you sit down in your desk to the time you close the door in your office at night. And right next to it, write a dollar sign if it's making you or generating revenue. And if it's not, ditch it. Ditch it to a team member. Because if you have 30 items in that list, 3 of them are producing you revenue, you tell me. You tell me. If you focus all your time on those 3 items, you're gonna exponentially, and here where it comes, where impounded interest will play a role here, because compounding it, you're gonna generate enough revenue for you and for your team members. Many times we want someone that that does a lot of different administrative tasks, but we really need someone that just do bookkeeping. Maybe you want a secretary that will help you answer the phone and manage your calendar and this and this and that. That's all. Those are perfectly fine. Those are wants. What is it that you really need in this point in time for your business to grow, to move to the next level? Don't try to get your company from level 1 to level 10 without going through each level. You're setting yourself for failure. You could actually have those advisors help you exponentially expedite those steps to get you from 0 to 10 in a shorter time. Okay? This list will also help you figure out what an appropriate salary will be for the person. It's so interesting because we were negotiating an agreement for external CFO, and the person we were going back and forth because obviously it wasn't a priority, it wasn't a necessity, it was just a want, so they can say that, oh, we have a CFO in my company, and they were trying to penny pinch, and what they really needed it is a bookkeeper. They don't need a CFO. Those three letters cost money. And not because of the three letters. They cost money because of the experience behind those three letters. CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Okay? It comes with 25 plus years of experience that is going to help you grow your company. You don't needed it. They don't needed it. They didn't need a CFO. They needed a bookkeeper. Right? So a need versus a want must be clearly addressed at every stage of your company. Make sure you protect your personal finances. You are a different individual than your business. Treat it accordingly. With growing a business, there is more liability. Whatever you sign, whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you deliver, everything comes with more responsibilities. When you start hiring people, if you haven't already done so, you should considering opening a business entity, a corporation, an LLC. Okay? We'll talk about that later on. There's no such thing as an S corporation. Oh, can you open me an S corporation? There's not S corporations. That's a tax solution. But whenever you start a business, protect whatever you own. Oh, but I don't own a house. But you're paying that car. It's under your name, or it will be one day. You might have a 401k. You have a paycheck. You have a personal bank account. You might have an inheritance. You have personal assets, your clothing, you have a watch. All that can be wiped out if you are not protected. So act smart. Ask. By creating a business structure and using it correctly, okay? Using it correctly. Don't commingle funds. It's my business. I'm gonna pull out money from my from my business account, or it's my business. Let me pay for certain things from my personal life through the business because they told me that I it's better to open a business so I can write off everything. Yeah, good for you. Go ahead, do it. But whenever the IRS knocks on the door and says, "Oh, by the way, this is taxable income. This is taxable income, not for your company, but for you," and you owe us taxes, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to the neighbor that told you that's deductible? I do it on my tax return. That's why I opened the company. I don't think they're going to be there handing you the percentage of back taxes and penalties that the IRS is going to assess because they provided you wrong information. They're not even qualified to provide you information. What are you going to do? Are you going to tell the IRS, he told me so? Use it correctly. You will protect everything you have built. And in turn, you're also going to save in taxes. You're going to maximize your tax exemptions. You're going to reduce your tax liabilities and your tax exposure and your liability exposure. We're no attorneys. Consult with your attorney. but they're going to tell you this. I know that all this could be confusing. What time is it the best time to do it? When is it the break pass of doing this? When should I lose the fear? Uh, I'm just starting. It's okay to be a one man show in my business. We get it. I get it. I've been there. I was there. I've been a one man show long time ago. I've learned from those experiences, not to say it failures. Being a one man show is part of your ego. Being a one man show and not wanting to delegate because you're feeling that you're going to lose control of your company, it's part of your ego. It's perfectly fine. It's normal. It's understandable. But you need to learn to let go. Give us a call. We're offering a 15 minutes complimentary consultation with me or somebody on my team about how to help you shift from that one man show to a truly business owner mindset entrepreneurship. That's what you want. I read somewhere, which is completely incorrect. We all open our businesses because we only have one thing in mind: generate profits. If you open a business to generate profits, don't. You open a business to generate fulfillment in your personal life. Fulfillment, gratitude. You do not open a business to generate wealth, to generate profits. That's the worst, stupidest thing I've ever read yesterday on Facebook. Don't. Profits, wealth are going to come from the satisfaction and fulfillment that that endeavor brings. As simple as that. Have a clear mind and a clear goal in head and ambition. And everything, it's going to fall down together. Everything is going to pan out. You're going to become successful. Plain and simple. Let us help you find that vision. Remember, in 15 minutes, we are not going to be able to pinpoint your vision. Nevertheless, we're going to be able to give you tons, several nuggets that are going to help you expedite reaching that clarity. Okay? So please don't expect that in 15 minutes we're going to be able to fix your problem, or if it's not complicated, I might be able to fix it like that. But it's not that we're going to turn things around. Okay? It takes a little bit of time. But in 15 minutes, at least we're going to listen to you and propose solutions complementary. You're going to find out what it is to have a coach or mentor listen to you and hold your hand and navigate this quite complex arena of what entrepreneurship is. Book a consultation with us, Shark at invictus-advisors.com, or I don't know what it is. It's follow us on our social medias. There it is, invictus-advisors.com/shark, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Make sure to follow us on social media at Invictus Advisors, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun places. And today, I'm going to finish today's show with a motivational speaker quote, Robert Schuller. And it says, "If you listen to your fears, you will die never knowing what a great person you might have been." Damn. If you listen to your fears, you will die never knowing what a great person you might have been. It's been great talking to you today. It's been great seeing you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Have a good lunch. Bon appetit. See you tomorrow.
Welcome to Thank you for listening to Lunch with a Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.